From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning on Weather NorCal. Just take a quick look at some of those rainfall totals, and most of it was, of course, last night and early this morning, but most of it along the coast here, almost a quarter of an inch out at the Redding Airport. And look at Hoopa, 0.81 inches of rain. Wow, certainly some good rain for some areas of Northern California. We take a look at our headlines. Storm number 3. We've been tracking these storms since last week. This is the third in that series and the last one in the series, by the way. The drier trend for most of Northern California, and our deeper dive forecast will really get into that here. A wet pattern returns this weekend, and the first day of winter, the winter solstice, is going to be here on Saturday. All right, let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast here for your Monday, December 16th. Just want to real quickly remind you that there are still several elements we need to look at, and that is, number one, winter weather advisories for the snow. We've also got some gusty winds in there. That is going to be a problem here, especially for the coast and some of the higher elevations. And there still are the king tides out there for the coast, and that's going to create some of that coastal flooding through at least 1 o'clock here for today. So getting you out the door this morning, we are going to be looking at overcast skies, showers for many of us, snow down to as low on average 3,000 feet. Locally lower for some of you, locally higher. Just depends on where you are. That's the beauty of Northern California, right? We've got all those microclimates, and that really makes things tricky for me telling you exactly where that snow is going to be. It gets tricky, but a lot of you, where you live, you kind of get that sense, and you can get a better idea here. But here you can see that cold front. Along that cold front, gusty winds for the coast and some of the mountains. Not so windy, though, for, say, the valley, but behind that, the colder air. Again, this is storm number 3. This looks impressive, but for most of us, it's not going to impact us a lot. And again, we'll get into that here a little bit later. There you can see this morning looks fairly impressive. And then you can see most of it kind of pushing off to the east. Bottom line, we're not looking at widespread rain and snow throughout the day. However, it looks like this kind of steady stream heading over central and southern Siskiyou County. And that could create a lot of snow out towards the Mount Shasta area, and even especially for the ski park. So some good snow heading out to the ski park. I mean, even at 5 p.m., you see that one little area where it's still just kind of coming over that area. But then by tonight, you see how it kind of starts to break apart. Some scattered showers off to the west. And then we'll dry things out here for tomorrow. There you can see no chain requirements on I-5, but east of I-5, west of I-5, there are those chain requirements. Just check the latest road conditions here before you're heading on out here. There you can take a look at the forecast road conditions. You know, it's been very fickle around Mount Shasta City here as far as the snow levels are concerned. That's why we really haven't seen any major problems on I-5 during all these storms, even though it was anticipated. And I do expect that that's going to be kind of the same thing here. It's just that borderline where Mount Shasta is about 3,500 feet, where it's been kind of transitioning from rain to snow or vice versa. And again, you can see here as we go through the afternoon this evening, it still kind of sticks around there. Eastern Mountains still, of course, plenty of chain requirements. And then if we go into tonight and early tomorrow morning, it looks like maybe transitioning a little bit more over to snow here. Bottom line, there it is. You need to check those latest road conditions before heading on out. All right, the winds I was talking about, mainly for the coast, central Siskiyou County, and look into the eastern mountains. I think a lot of the exposed mountain ridge tops will see some gusty winds, but again, not so much for the valley. A little breezy, sure, but certainly not a big wind event. Even at 5 o'clock this afternoon, still gusty along the coast, still gusty for central Siskiyou County in particular. Look at the Warner Mountains too, and many of the mountains here into the eastern mountains as well. Again, those exposed ridge tops, still seeing some gusty winds here. But again, the valley, it won't be that bad. In many other areas, not that bad with the winds either. Temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s this afternoon, but we could get up to about 50 in the valley. 30s for most of the higher elevations. I'm expecting mid to upper 50s for the coast. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley, Could see some morning fog here for tomorrow, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Dry through Friday, and then more wet weather coming in for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Here's your coast, inland, and for Trinity County. So dry with some morning fog here for the inland areas in Trinity County Tuesday. Look at that. Maybe some showers for the coast, inland, and even Trinity County. But then dry for Thursday, maybe as early as Friday, the coast and inland. But I think everyone's seen that better chance for Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, some stuff to unpack when we look at that deeper dive forecast. So you may want to stick around for that if you want more details. But there you can see dry for Tuesday, right? And then Mount Shasta, you got the showers. And then dry for Thursday, Friday. And then more wet weather over the weekend. All right, so before we get to that deeper dive forecast, I do want to remind you there is a free Weather NorCal app. All you got to do, go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, download the app for free, 100% free. You'll never be charged for anything, okay? And everything I offer here at Weather NorCal is pretty much right there from your phone. Check it out. If you don't like it, take it off your phone, but I think you're going to like it. All right, so there you can see, of course, the area of low pressure off to our west. Storm system number 3 is moving through this morning. Behind it is this storm. But high pressure is pretty much going to be the dominant feature here once this storm system moves out. However, there may be a little kink in there, and we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. Let's talk about the moisture content. The areas of yellow and orange, so you start getting in more of that moist air when you start getting the yellows, oranges, and reds and the purples, right? So you can see a stream here. That's mainly aimed to our south, so I think the heavier rainfall will be down to the south. That pushes off to the east. Then we've got another little push coming in here on Wednesday. Now, it's mainly pushed up to our north, but that's why I'm expecting maybe the coast, Trinity County, parts of Siskiyou County to maybe see some showers on Wednesday, but I think everyone else will be too dry for that. And then we can see here, this is the system that could be coming in by Friday and into this upcoming weekend. By this weekend, by Saturday, another kind of a weak atmospheric river that's going to be moving on in. So we go into your Sunday, Monday. Look at that, more pushes of moisture coming on in. So we've got a wet weather pattern kind of kicking itself in. So what does the atmospheric river impact look like? Remember, we talk about there are 5 different categories of atmospheric rivers, right? AR5 being the strongest, and that's mainly just hazardous. But when you get into the blue, that's what we call mainly beneficial rainfall. When you get into the green, that's mainly beneficial with some hazards in there. And that's what we saw a little bit last week. So you can see a little bit of a spike here for today. It drops. Another spike on Wednesday. That's mainly for the coast, and it's a weak atmospheric river. No atmospheric river Thursday, or really for Friday, but for Friday night into Saturday, it spikes again. And even getting into just barely that moderate atmospheric river, that green AR2 category. And then, of course, drops again, and then another spike. So bottom line, we're not seeing any major atmospheric rivers moving through, but we are certainly seeing some moisture that's associated with these weak atmospheric rivers being that source for some of the rain that's in the forecast, including today. But there you can see the snow off to the north and east. You see how we're just kind of seeing it just hang out towards south central Siskiyou and eastern Siskiyou County. So we could be looking at a period of steady snowfall through a good portion of the day. But remember what I was saying, that Mount Shasta City, you've been throughout these storms just in that right where it's transitioning from snow to rain or vice versa. So if it decides to stick as only snow, you're talking about a decent amount of snow coming out of it. However, if it's more in the form of rain, then any snow you have on the ground may melt. We'll see. But there you can see another batch coming in for the northwest. We take into 5 p.m. on Monday today. Again, see how it's still just kind of up to the north there, out towards Mount Shasta. Otherwise, scattered showers to the west, maybe a sprinkle or two for parts of the valley, but nothing excessive. And then, of course, it's fairly dry off to the east. Tonight, look at this. It's just lingering, folks. We still got some of those showers and drizzle and light showers, maybe even a little bit of drizzle for the valley. But then, finally, right, we're getting a break on Tuesday. Everyone, and maybe even some fog to start off in the valley, otherwise partly cloudy skies for the second half of the day. Wednesday, that's what I was talking about. You see where most of the rain is? Off to the north and west. Dry for the valley, dry mainly for Modoc County at 5 a.m. into the east. We take you through the afternoon on Wednesday. There's the noon hour. You see it's a little bit to the north. Trinity County getting in some of it, but still dry. And dry also for Modoc County. And then we go into Wednesday, 5 p.m. It kind of pushes back up to the north. Everyone's dry by Thursday. But then, as I mentioned, by Friday, maybe some more activity for the coast. So how much rain can we expect here through Wednesday? Well, how about another quarter to a half an inch in the valley once all is said and done? Much more than that, especially out towards Del Norte County, and obviously much less off to the east. How much snow? I think it's overdoing it here for maybe Dunsmuir, but yeah, I mean, a couple to 2 to maybe 4 inches of snow, especially out towards Mount Shasta. And honestly, for today, it could exceed that if that snow decides to just linger throughout the day. It looks like it's just kind of like you saw there in Futurecast, kind of sticking around, and then more snow off to the east, but really not much really heading off to the west into Trinity County. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. This is the longer range forecast that I'm talking about here. So let's get you through Wednesday. So Wednesday we've got a ridge, but see this little kink right here? That's the storm system kind of breaking away at the ridge a little bit. And that's why we saw those showers coming in on Wednesday, especially to the north and to the west. But otherwise, everyone else will be dry. So let's go into Thursday and Friday. We've got another ridge right here, but that ridge is also this storm system kind of breaking through it. Some of that may make its way into parts of the coast Friday afternoon, but everyone else dry on Friday. And then that ridge is gone by Saturday. There's that rain coming in. As we go into Sunday, another system coming in. Monday of next week, more rain. So we've got another, you could even call it a parade of storms coming in starting this weekend and going into early next week. So again, we take a look at those chain requirements out there this morning. East of I-5, west of I-5, plenty of chain requirements, but nothing on I-5 just yet. Now we take a look at those forecast road conditions here for today and into tomorrow. We saw this a little bit earlier. Once again, as you start seeing the reds and the pinks, that's kind of just that borderline snow, rain, snow mix. But there you can see tonight, it might be cold enough for mainly in the form of snow. However, by the time we get into 3 a.m., most of the rain and snow will be gone. Bottom line, I want you to check the latest road conditions, and the easiest way to do that is either from the app or from the website. You click on the road conditions section, and what I've done here is I've taken the more popular Caltrans cameras, and you can just at a quick glance see what the road conditions look like across Northern California and where you might be going. But it also has a quick link to Quick Map from Caltrans so you know where the chain requirements are. Let's take a look at some of those forecast totals here for the snow on the ski park through Wednesday. Yeah, we could pick up another 10 inches or so of snow. Certainly a welcome sight there. Looking at the ski report as of yesterday, look at that, 60 inches out towards the summit of Mount Shasta Ski Park, and it is 95% open. I was out there yesterday with my son for the first time. Oh man, folks, it's awesome out there. They've got a lot of snow. You don't have to worry about that, not enough snow up there. There's plenty of it. And they've got more coming in today and really as we go into the next few days too. Look at the winds. Gusty along the coast, central Siskiyou County, east of the valley as well. But the valley is sure a little breezy, but not that bad. By noon, we're still seeing the gusty winds along the coast, central Siskiyou County. A lot of those exposed mountain ridge tops. Let's take you into Monday, tonight, right? Still a little gusty along the coast, even out towards Siskiyou County. But look at the valley, not that bad, fairly calm winds. Now, we take you into tomorrow morning. Look at this. I mean, still along the coast, it's just breezy, borderline windy. Finally starting to see a bit of a break here for central Siskiyou County, but still a little breezy there. By 5 p.m. Wednesday, the winds start to die down, but even out towards Crescent City, you're still at about 20, 21 miles per hour. There's that coastal flood advisory. The king tide still playing a factor in our forecast along the coast. That's through 1 o'clock today. So looking at your wave heights, they are expected to actually increase as we go into your Tuesday. And then as we go into Wednesday, hopefully they should start to drop a little bit here. But there you can see the winds. I mean, they're from the south at 15 to 20 knots. There's a gale warning until 9 o'clock this morning. That maybe get downgraded to maybe a smoke threat advisory later this afternoon. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 40s for your daytime highs today. For the north coast, mid to upper 50s. But a little bit cooler towards Alder Point, about 52 degrees. Up north, 52 degrees for Orleans, 51 for Hoopa, and those mid to upper 50s along the coast. Let's take you out to Siskiyou County. Temperatures there mainly in the 30s. and some 40s, maybe some low to mid 40s for some of those warmer spots. Tule Lake about 39, 38 degrees for El Turris, 39 for Fort Bidwell and Eagleville, about 42. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 30s to right around the low 40s for most of us, although warmer spot will be in Paradise with about 48 degrees today. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s. I think some of us could get up to 50 in the Valley, but mainly in the upper 40s. 44 degrees for Whiskeytown and Lakehead and 48 degrees in Bella Vista. So there's your 7-day outlook for Redding. There are those showers for today. Morning fog is a very good possibility, especially to the south. Otherwise, partly cloudy and dry for Tuesday through Friday. The first day of winter is Saturday. It looks like we could see some rain, and then maybe another chance for showers on Sunday. That's your morning update. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll be back again this afternoon for your latest forecast.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.